Please be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This is a case of Maxon versus Gearing.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Mr. Maxon, you testify that you had to open your case today because the defendant is doing what she does best, pinning babies on innocent men.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say she is now seeking financial help from your mother, and in order to stop her from taking advantage of your family, you need to prove that you did not father her 3-year-old daughter, Alana Gearing. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gearing, you say you are certain that Mr. Maxon is your daughter's biological father. You are tired of being a single mother and say once the results are revealed today, you expect Mr. Maxon to man up and take care of his responsibilities. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Maxon, why do you think Ms. Gearing is trying to pin her baby on you?
For one, Your Honor, I didn't know anything about the baby until after she had the child.
And so how did you find out?
She contacted my mom and told my mom about it, and my mom told me. And once I found out, I had my mom to contact her so I can get a paternity test.
Oh, so immediately upon hearing, you said, hold on, I need a paternity test.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because from the outset, you didn't think the child was yours.
Exactly, Your Honor.
Ms. Gearing, you didn't tell Mr. Maxon anything about the baby until after the baby was born?
No, ma'am. When I found out I was pregnant, he was in Las Vegas with another woman. I thought he was going for music. I contacted Trinidad and I told him I was pregnant. He said he wanted to come back. I sent him some money, $250 to be exact, and thought he was coming back, and he never came back, and he never called me.
Did you bring proof of that?
Afterwards,
Did you bring proof of that?
afterwards, I did contact his mom after I had the baby, and when I heard from her, she was like, yeah, that's my grandbaby. And his mom even came here because she was driving trucks. And I brought my baby to see her.
One at a time.
I brought my baby to see her when she came here because she was driving trucks. And she was like, oh, yes, I know this is my grandbaby.
No.
So, Ms. Williams?
Jasmine contacted me and she said, I'm pregnant by your son. This was before she even had the baby. So I didn't hear anything else from Jasmine until after she had the baby. And I contacted her and I said, Jasmine, can you bring the baby over so that I could see the baby? And I saw the baby, but I didn't see no resemblance of my son in that baby.
Ms. Gearing testified that you said that's my grandbaby.
No, I never told her that.
I know 200% that that's his child.
If you
All
knew
right.
200% that was my child, when I asked you for a paternity test, at first when I found out and you refused, you would have gave it to me.
Because my baby was too small.
So hold on,
Yes, I did deny the
Mr.
first
Maxon,
time.
I need to hear that. Can you please tell the court what happened when you asked for a paternity test?
When I asked her for a paternity test, she told me, no, this is your child.
She said no, because I was on the phone
Wait,
with
was she pregnant? Was the baby born?
Baby
When
was
was the
already
baby?
She
here.
was born, she was like 4 weeks.
Why, Ms. Gearing? Why not just say, you know what, let's take this DNA test so you can just be quiet?
Because for one, I was already going through a lot. I had my baby a month early, and then with him not coming in the picture like during my pregnancy when he claimed he was gonna be there, it was just too much already. So,
I don't care how much you're going through. If you want to know if that's his baby,
his mom
you would
was
say
being
yes.
two-faced because
Exactly.
What I need to understand now is how we got here. I don't understand
first
it.
of all, Your Honor-
So wait, were you all boyfriend and girlfriend when this happened?
No.
No, we actually, when I went back to Mississippi with my grandmother, and I did contact him first on Facebook, and it just kicked off from there. And then he moved back here to Atlanta, so I came back, and he was at my house.
So you knew
day
each
and
other
night.
before?
Yes, we been knew each other when we was younger, stayed on the same street. Back then,
We lived down the street from each other, and I've never known nothing about this lady.
And
But
even,
wait.
Even back then, me and her had no dinner. She knew of me, and I knew of her. We never was talked or
But
kicked
at
it.
some point, you obviously were intimate or we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, when she contacted me on Facebook.
Okay, so you...
yes, I did contact him first on Facebook, and he came out to my grandmother's house. One thing led to another. He was at my house day and night before he went to
Wait,
work.
hold on. One thing led to another at your
Yes.
grandmother's house?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Who had sex at their grandmother's house? With no protection.
No protection.
So apparently she was trying to stick a baby on him.
But hold on. No. The issue I'm having is that, okay, Were you dating anybody
No.
else at that time?
No,
Because, I mean,
I
this
wasn't
was the
dating
first
anyone.
night.
I wasn't
Yes, she
dating
was.
anyone.
Yes,
And when
she
we
was,
moved back
Sean.
here, I still wasn't dating anyone.
Your Honor, she was still involved because she told me this out of her own mouth. She was still involved with another guy. Like I said, our relationship we was not in a relationship. We was not couple.
How did you know she was still with her ex?
She told me.
Out of her mouth?
Yeah.
What
and
did she
sometimes
say?
when I be at her house, she'll video call him on Facebook and tell me to be quiet while she talks to him. And I'm sitting right next to her.
So that makes him the dummy. Why would he still stay if I'm still dealing with somebody else?
It's
I
really
wasn't dealing
not
with anybody.
about him being a dummy. It's really about his doubt.
We wasn't a couple. We was just, we'll kick it every now and
Having
then.
sex
and
unprotected.
Basically.
It was, and that's a lie too, Your Honor. We was using protection. And this is another reason why I say that this child is not mine. She probably was taking the condoms when I leave and injecting herself.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. So it is your testimony that you always used protection
Yes, Your Honor.
with Ms. Gearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Never once
Never once.
did the condom break.
Never.
Did you not use one?
Never.
And Ms. Gearing, you're saying that that is a
We
complete
never
lie.
used protection. Honestly, from the first day, we never used protection.
So I just want to ask Ms. Gearing one question. Do your baby have asthma?
No.
Trinard has had asthma and his other kids do too. So all of a sudden, he got this one kid that don't have no resemblance and no asthma.
No resemblance.
I don't see it.
But you always call
She
me
look
and
like
tell
you.
me.
She look. When do I call you, Jasmine?
So
I
you
never
haven't
call-
reached out
You
to my
always
baby?
reached out to
and
me.
ma'am, I do have evidence from when I did reach out to
I would like
Trinard.
to see that.
Here you go.
You.
In January of 2016, I asked him, can you at least
Thank
see
you.
how your child is doing? He texted me 2 months later, asked for a favor to borrow some money, and I told him no. So then he went to say, don't contact me anymore. So who need who? I never asked him for money. Only thing I want him to do, you can buy your daughter some clothes and some shoes
Well,
and
you
give
asked
it to
me
her.
for money
You don't
to buy
have
your baby Pampers.
Okay, you only sent me
You asked me
$20.
for-
It wasn't your responsibility.
And that was all I was
You should have
supposed
told
to
your
send you.
grown ass
All right,
man
ladies.
that to do
all
it.
I-
All right,
You
ladies,
told your grown
ladies.
ass to do it.
Ladies, let's get some order. Ms. Gearing, you've submitted evidence to this court.
Yes, ma'am. That's the
This
first thing I
evidence
sent to you.
is a text message on January 30th, 2016.
Yes, ma'am.
So you sent a picture
Uh-huh.
of Alana.
Yes, ma'am.
And you type, you can ask how she's doing.
Yeah.
And the response was nothing.
Nothing. As you can see, it's blank.
That's January the 30th.
So 2 months later,
Mr. Maxon answers 2 months later on March 14th and says, I need a favor. You write, really? You don't call and even check on your daughter? And Mr. Maxon writes, can I get a favor or not? It's a simple yes or no. What was the favor?
he needed some money. And after I told him no,
Your Honor,
well,
I
you
don't
don't have
even-
no reason to contact me anymore.
Your Honor, that's not
exactly
even
what he
me.
said.
That's not me texting her. I don't know where she get that from, but that's not even me.
So that's lying?
And that's being honest. That's being
not
honest.
you?
If you texting
So
me
your name
on
not at the
Facebook,
top?
it'll have my name, Trinard Maxon.
Wow.
Right or wrong? Right or
Really?
wrong?
Trinard, that is you.
Hold on. When she texts you about Alana, you responded?
No, she never did text me about it. She contacts my mother. That's why I'm. That's why
Well,
I'm so-
she did contact me about some Pampers and some shoes.
Yes, I really did.
I
She only
sent
sent
her
$20 so I
$20
could
to
get diapers.
Yes, because
Yes, she
if it was
did.
anybody in this room and you needed Pampers for your baby, yes, I would give. That still doesn't
You know-
say that's my grandbaby.
Ms. Williams, you're
There was
telling
no
me what you did for the baby or what you would do for the baby.
But
Mr.
what did he
Maxon,
do?
what have you done for Alana?
Nothing.
Nothing. I asked her for a blood test, a DNA test. She refused.
Okay,
So,
well, we're about to see right now. We're going to see what you're going to do after you
So
find
hold
out
on.
that she
So
yours.
hold on. Mr. Maxon, I want to understand. Are you saying Alana's 3 years old?
Yes.
Yes.
You have done nothing for this baby. Not
Nothing.
a shoe, not a
No,
dress,
Your Honor,
not
I
a.
don't
seen
know
her
if
once.
I don't know if she's mine
Only
or
seen
not.
her once.
Like I say, when I first found out about it, I asked her for a DNA test. She refused. What else? I mean, what
So
else?
have you spent any time with her?
No.
He seen my baby one time.
What?
And she was like 5 or 6 months. I was at my aunt's
through a
house.
picture?
His mom came and picked my baby up. Her and her daughter came and picked my baby up.
I did not pick your baby up, Jasmine.
What
I
in
was
the
about to
world?
get your baby.
Oh, Lord.
I was about to take the baby with me. The baby started
she
crying.
Took my baby.
I left the baby right there with her.
No, she came to pick my baby up and took my baby to wherever Trinai was, wherever they had their little gathering at. And she the one that told me my baby was crying, and Trinai was like, hey, what you crying for?
That's a lie.
And that was my baby was like
in
5 or 6 months.
Seen the baby.
Hold
I
up.
seen the baby through a picture.
Okay.
You saw the baby through a picture
Through
only.
a picture that she sent to my mom.
So you've never, ever met Alana?
Ever.
Lies.
Ever.
Lies.
Ever.
Lies.
Ever.
He lied through his teeth.
Ever.
Mr. Maxon and Miss Gearing, this court's concern is there's a 3-year-old little girl that really has no relationship with a father, doesn't really know who her father is. It's sad for her. I'm sad for Alana.
Yeah.
He don't care.
Now, Your Honor, first of all, when I asked her for a DNA test, it was to me, trying to make sure this is my child. Now, when this DNA test come back, if it come back, it's my child, I have no problem with taking care of my business because I'm a man for anything. And I'm a great father, and I provide for mine. But at the end of the day, I'm not finna be made out of a fool to claim something that's not mine.
She is not something. She's a child. Get it right.
Miss Gearing, so you've been doing this by yourself.
Yes, ma'am. No problem with it.
And I can see that makes you emotional and angry that you've been doing this alone. And I know this is difficult for you. What are you feeling in this moment?
Well, honestly, I feel sad for my baby because she do ask, where's my dad, So when my other kids do see their dad, she was like, Mommy, where's my daddy?
So when she asks you, what do you tell her?
The only thing I say is like, he'll come around. I
Oh,
don't
he
tell
will
her-
come around.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I tell her. I don't tell her that, he is denying her or he don't want to be in her life because she still wouldn't understand.
Even when they don't quite understand it, what we've learned through helping hundreds and hundreds of families that it'll be another child that just will say, that's not your daddy, that's my daddy.
Yeah,
And they may mean it maliciously or they may mean it just as plainly, just that
Right.
these are facts. But
she don't deserve it
regardless, the
because she
child
didn't ask to be
knows.
here. Me and him made her, so she don't deserve it at all.
Could have just gave me the blood test off the top.
So, Mr. Maxon, Mr. Maxon,
After I had my baby, after when he did contact me, yes, he did contact me, and I told him, that I didn't want to do it. I mean, I was going through a lot.
But see, this is a great example of what's happening in this courtroom now. When people get all up in their feelings, it becomes about you all instead of about the innocent child.
Right.
So the moment when they asked you for the DNA test, you were still mad because he didn't return your text when you tried to contact him in the first place, that you said no, because you weren't thinking clearly that,
Right.
you know what, if I know this man made this baby, if I go ahead and get this DNA test done right now and put my thoughts and my feelings out of this, then my baby won't have to be 3 years old, still not knowing who her father is or still understanding that, oh, my daddy's not coming and I gotta tell her he'll come around.
Right.
We could have done this before she would even know this.
Exactly.
Because she's the one losing out. So you say, Mr. Maxon, you're gonna step up.
No problem.
You have no problem with it.
No problem, Your Honor.
And what are you feeling now, Miss Williams? You just feel like it's just been a long...
It's just, it's stressful, him not knowing, she calling and saying this and saying that, if she would have, like he said, if she would have just given him that DNA, this could have been all behind us.
After you give birth, you so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I do have compassion for how as a mother, she could have just been like, I can't do one more thing right now. But I do understand and I can see how you all have gotten here. And most importantly, Mr. Maxon, from your perspective, I do get that. I hear men all the time say, when you ask for that DNA test and that person says no, I don't care what good reason they may have. That no will always trigger a doubt. But we're gonna end it today.
Yes, ma'am.
We have the result. Jerome? Ms. Gearing, before I open this envelope, I have to ask you, am I going to get a surprise? Is there something you need to just own up to right now?
No, ma'am. I wasn't talking to anyone.
You're sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Maxon versus Gearing, when it comes to 3-year-old Alana Gearing, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Maxon, you are the father.
I knew it.
That's your little girl, Mr. Maxon.
I'm just glad to know the truth. I hate it had to take this long for, to find out, but.
These are the moments where it all comes together. And I can see that there's some part of you right now that you feel like you weren't there to truly protect your little girl.
Yes, ma'am.
I know you heard in this courtroom, she been looking for you. Would you like to meet her in my chamber so you can see your baby?
Yes, ma'am.
Every little girl deserves her daddy. Court is adjourned.